of a lifetime. It took him all year to build it.
Now I'm going to drive that thing right up to General Motors.
Here we go, another forgotten film from the... Well, actually, this is from the 70s, isn't it? It's not from the 80s.
It's from the late 70s, 1978.
A year after Star Wars came out, and starring Mark Hamill and prostitutes and machines. No, it's not Angel, it's not Cherry 2000, but it's close.
MGM presents Corvette Summer.
This is an awesome film. I actually loved this movie from the moment I saw it, and the first time I ever saw it was on television. I had never heard of it, actually, until I saw it for the first time. And the whole reason I even watched it was because Mark Hamill was in it, and I was 7 years old in 1978, and on a Star Wars sugar high. So anything that came out with Star Wars or Mark Hamill or Harrison Ford or anything, I was like, oh, I'm there. It's Star Wars. It's the guy from Star Wars.
Control. You must bring control.
You know, when I saw this, and I was like, whatever, 7 or 8, I don't even think I knew that was Mark Hamill. Because, it's one of those, when you're a kid, Luke Skywalker, and then he's in this film, and he's all dirty with long hair, and, even if I had known him, I may not even recognized him. But I don't think I even knew that was Mark Hamill when I saw this film originally.
When they announced it on television, I believe they said, and from Star Wars, Mark Hamill.
Starring Mark Hamill, who's back from Star Wars. Oh, yeah!
So I was like, oh, okay. And then when I saw the movie, hey, it's Luke Skywalker. He's in a different movie.
Probably saw this on like satellite or cable. We didn't have satellite back then. That's where I'd seen it on. And then it was like, I didn't pay attention to credits or anything like that.
Mark Hamill, Annie Potts.
I literally have not seen this movie, probably, I couldn't even tell you. I knew it was about a car, and I knew Mark Hamill was in it. I mean, that was it. That's all I could remember about this film. So, sitting down watching this, I gotta tell you, Vince, I absolutely love this film. It's still a great film today as it was back when they made it. Just a really great movie.
You know what? I'm really glad you said that, too, because I feel the same way. Even watching it on television, which I never got to see all the other parts that they did edit out, which is very few. There's not a whole lot of stuff that they had to edit out of this film. So even watching it on television, I love this film. I mean, I just absolutely love this movie. I was like, this is fantastic. I love the car. I love, Mark Hamill's acting in it. I loved Annie Potts' acting in it. It has a great story. It has...
Stop it! I'm getting out!
Oh, no, you're not.
And out of all these forgotten films that we've done, this is the best one so far.
Oh yeah, and it still holds up. That's what the thing about this film is. My wife and I watched it the other night, and I was laughing through the whole thing. And it's funny. It's sort of a comedy, and it has really good action in it. Fantastic car, like you said, super cool car.
And if you knew as much as they know about this candy apple metal flake Corvette, you'd be chasing it too.
I'm helping you, Dope. I'm helping you find your car.
A great story, and what really surprised me was Mark Hamill. He was so good in this film. His acting was just fantastic in the film. I mean, he was really good in this movie.
Yeah, he was. He was outstanding in this movie. His passion to get... It's basically, it's the same plot as Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh. Well, my mistake. Guess I'll be on my way then.
Except that it's not a bike. It's a Corvette Stingray. And it's a custom-built Corvette Stingray. And that's one of the great things about this movie is that car. It's just fantastic the way he redid this car. And that car is actually recently just sold to somebody for something like $80,000. I can't remember exactly, but I don't know. That person's got to be one of the luckiest guys on the planet right now.
As long as it doesn't get stolen.
One night to lose it.
Hey, that's my car! You stole my car!
Yeah. Because you'd have to chase it all the way to Las Vegas. It's got Las Vegas in it. That's where you're getting Cherry 2000 from.
I mean, like I said, it's a lot of great comedy. Like the part where he's walking down the road and they got those lowriders that come and pick him up. And they're going like 5 miles an hour.
Excuse me, 17 miles an hour?
15.
On the interstate? What are you doing, looking for a contact lens?
That's just, oh man, that was funny. That was some funny stuff. He's like, just let me out. Just let me out.
Okay, I gotta get out now.
What was even funnier is he's like, not only is he like, just let me out of here, but you don't even have to slow down.
We're gonna go to Los Huevos, remember?
Oh, listen, friend, just let me out, okay? Tell you what, you don't even have to stop.
I think one of the funniest scenes in the movie is when he does get to Las Vegas and he thinks his car is there, and he walks up to it and he's like,
Datsun?
"It's a Datsun! It's a Datsun!"
It's a Datsun.
Yeah, I know. You'd think they'd at least have a Cadillac.
Oh man, that just cracked me up. Because my dad had a Datsun a long time ago, and it reminded me of that. It was just like, it's a Datsun!
I was told it was a Corvette.
Well, don't take it so hard.
But yeah, I mean, it's a real fun story, and it's a action-packed and funny and just a great story. And, you know, a lot of people, probably this is why we're doing this, don't remember because they didn't make sequels to it. They didn't make a remake to it. They haven't done anything to this film. It came out and that was it. I mean, that's all. I mean, it was there and that was it.
Yeah, there was never a Corvette Summer 2. I guess unless you include Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Nobody hit me to that, dude.
If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend this movie. I highly, highly recommend it. It's still a great film, and it shouldn't be forgotten. This is one that should have been remembered throughout the years, and probably it'll be remade eventually, because everything gets remade that was somewhat good back in the 70s and 80s. I would have to give this forgotten film a 5 out of 5.
And I would give this forgotten film the
Wow, you blew it up, Vince.
Yeah, because this movie for me is a classic. I love the movie. I love the car. I love the story. I love the acting by Mark Hamill and Annie Potts, who eventually ended up being the secretary in Ghostbusters. And not to mention, there are several people in this movie that either later on became bigger stars, or you just saw them all the time throughout the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. And
like the guy from Blade Runner is in this movie. He was like in everything.
Exactly. And I mean, there's cameos by, well, it's not really cameos, they're parts that these people play. Even Danny Bonaduce is in this. So, but there's parts that all these people play, but they're, you know, that later on became either bigger stars or they were big stars at the time.
And I don't believe this is on Blu-ray, is it? I think it's only out on DVD.
I believe so. I believe that's it, and that's how I got to watch it, was the DVD. So
maybe at some point they'll bring it out on Blu-ray, and I would actually go out and buy this on Blu-ray because it needs to have that kind of treatment, I think.
Yeah, I hope they give it a big, you know, nice Blu-ray, because it definitely deserves that.
Absolutely. If you have not seen this film, it's so fun, and like we keep saying, it's so well acted. Annie Potts was so great in this film. She was so good in it. And I'm surprised it didn't really make her a bigger star than what she became from this film.
And she later on went into designing women and everything. But yeah, I would think this movie would have been one of her biggest hits. And, well, I guess it is.
So we do have your list. Everybody has been giving us a list of films that they want us to review. and we are working on it. You know, and it's a long list now. It's grown pretty long. But this is one of ours that we wanted to bring to you. This is not on a list that somebody had given us yet. Because it's hard to get them sometimes, and sometimes it's impossible unless we actually have to go out and buy them. So we are trying to get those off of a list that we have. And the list is probably, we got what, 9 or 10 films now on the list. So we are getting to those. We will get to those.
And I have to say, this is one of my favorite shows on this channel right now, is doing these forgotten films. I'm actually really enjoying this.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that our viewers are giving us these movies, and a lot of these I've never heard of. So I'm really excited to watch them. I can't wait to see what they are.
So to tune in and find out more of the forgotten films that we're going to do, and to see more of the forgotten films, and to give us more forgotten films, you have to hit it.
Oh, yeah!
You have to hit that button down there, that subscribe button. That's your job. You do that, and then we'll do our job and bring you the forgotten films.